Does he have to study subjects he will never ever use in his life? And she will look at him blank-eyed, stifle a sigh, think for a second, and then lie. She'll say something along the lines of, you know, to get a good job you need a good degree, and these subjects will help you get a good degree. We never had this opportunity when I was younger. And he will reply, but you were young a long time ago, weren't you, mum? And she won't respond, although what he implies makes perfect sense, that society's needs would have changed since she was 16. But she will ignore him, grip his hand more sternly, then drag him to the car. But what she doesn't know is that she didn't ignore him just to shut him up. She didn't lie because they were just returning from parents' evening and an argument in the hallway would look bad on her resume. She won't lie because she's just spent the last 1 hour convincing a stern-faced teacher that she...
No matter what topic is done, but then because of Amazon money have join, they say it's a top 16, so there Saturday, Friday and Saturday. So Friday and Saturday is the minimal multi-purpose. And then if finally over Saturday. So man, the was so if we call so next day we join the issue. As far as it's open to everyone. We need to unite academically, socially, and spiritually. Let's unite, let's build one organization that benefits everyone.
Good morning. All the way from Konza area of Mercy. I'm a public relations graduate. I'm an entrepreneur. I've got 2 businesses, and it's a pleasure to have you to be part of this panelist today.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Senelisiwe Babakosi, also known as Uneli. I am from Soweto. I go to the General Church of Christ under Bishop Kundanda. I am a BCom accounting graduate. I practice as an accountant. That's all that I do. I've been doing accounting for the past 7 years, and that's me. Thank you for having me as part of the panelist.
Sanibonani, igama uBongani wakajele, Konza Inkosi under the leadership of Urev Jele. Well, for me, I studied linguistics, and it was a great thing for me to do because obviously when we're interacting right now, what are we using? Language to interact. So I can say that for me it's a safe space because I'm more than comfortable when it comes to such. And currently I'm a master's student with the TET, and I'm just glad to be part and parcel of the panelists today. Thank you.
Sanibonani igama uSibusiso Mlilo, ukhonza ebandleni kaZingelwe Phila, and today I'm representing so I am a farmer, I am an entrepreneur, and then I'm happy to be a panelist today.
Thank you very much. So today we're getting a chance to engage as the Zion community, more specifically on academics. I'm happy this is happening today in the month of June, which is the Youth Month. For us to have a constructive talk show, can we please converse in a respectful manner? No vulgar words, no offensive language, and etc. We're going to have subtopics for the day. There's no time limit, guys. Please feel free to engage with us, but be concise. Education improves skills such as literacy, develops effective habits, and also it may improve cognitive inability. The first subtopic we're going to discuss today, it's the stigma between a graduate and a non-graduate and the Zion Church. How so? To elaborate, there are certain duties that I can perform as a non-graduate, but because there is a graduated church, there I'm unable to perform those duties. So basically, the graduates are getting the first preference. How does that affect us as the non-graduates? After today, we need to advertise ourselves in a way. So that's where it starts. Remember we're saying we're starting. Yeah, so if we're starting, I need to tell you, this is what I'm doing. Okay, we're gonna move along. Before I move along, sis, what Tatuba was told.
So, Samuna.
Yeah.
Okay. I tried not to, but I think I'll start here, guys. The Bible says to us, the Bible teaches us in the book of King Solomon says, your gift will make room for you. You understand? And when you read it in Zulu, isiZulu ithi isiphiwo sakho sokuvulela indawo bese sikuyisela kwabakhulu. So now, anything that God has placed in you, that's what's going to make you live tomorrow. We don't live today because we left what God has placed within us and we wanted to chase this. And the biggest idea today is to bridge the gap. I think policy said there's formal education and there's informal education. One of the things that I was discussing with Nastro was we need to find which there are people who are gifted academically. You know that guy, you put him in school, he gives you A. There's that guy that you can put him to school for 15 years. That guy's all over energy. But that guy has a skill. Where is the skills development center? Where we're going to develop something? You know, baking is a skill. And there are people who live through baking. You understand? There's a lot of things. I see now there's this trend, ironing, washer. That's laundry. Laundry is also a skill. So how do we take now those skills in a platform? You have this skill on time to wash, let it feed you. Because the gap we're trying to bridge here is that let our gifts that God has placed within us, let's develop them, let's nourish them, let's make us live as a Mazayon. And then going to bridge that gap now. In the process of us bridging that gap, the devil is so smart. Satan today, he has changed his tactics to a point where he's playing with our minds. You know the mind is a battleground. You know the Bible says it's with the mind that we serve the Lord. Now what the devil says now, the spirit of pride. Each and every one of us think we're better today. And that betterness that we have, that's in the end we think now you want me to greet you. But this whole Saturday night you couldn't greet me. You understand? So if we can kill that spirit of pride, that will help us bridge this gap between literacy and illiteracy. Then we come back together and we build one society that benefits everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Igama lami Angelo Wambata Nkonzo Blessings in Christ. Ngicela ukuqala ngokuthi ngisho lento engaziwa kakhulu. Ngiyakuzwa ulwelo, you keep on saying, how would people know what you are this? I'm a historian, so many people don't know that. Firstly, I would like to say uzayoni wakala ama-graduates. Something we don't know. So this narrative yokuthi uzayoni akafundile, it's a wrong narrative. Ubaba wethu Daniel Nkonyane was a qualified graduate. He was a media administrator. 1909 he was hired by John T. Lake, a missionary from America. Abekala established in the yes, it came 1903, and then about 20 days they came now. The other guy who was a qualified architect, Baba Charles Son. Now these people, they were architects and whatever in their own spaces. Coming to Usayon is not a church, it's a place. That is why it's always said, what, in Zion. So it's a place in our residence. So they would go and practice whatever that they are qualified for, better themselves. Now, a mind of a person who's educated is much more stretched than a mind of a person who's because he trained than he trained for informal education. So you choose that thing. So I'm just bringing this thing to say, guys, we don't have to change Zion with our education. We just need to better Zion with what we know. Because we begin a culture. Because I think it's a place in Zion. So each and every place in a culture, yeah. So we start practicing a culture when we get to that place. We are spiritual beings, yes, but when we get to that place, when we start being spiritual, outside
Wonderful day it was. How are you?
It was a great day. Also good, but it's a bit chilly. It's a bit cold.
I love your accent. You remind me of Vusi Timber.
Yeah. Hopefully, no. That's really.
Have you
interesting.
got that before?
I
What's your
have
first time?
several times. I've
Yeah.
had, but to Vusi, being compared to Vusi, it's something else. It's something astonishing. Eh?
No problem. And your name?
Bungan
Just for our people.
Bungan Jen.
Bongani Jen.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And maybe in a brief, what was going on today?
Today, one of which I was given the opportunity or granted the opportunity of being a panelist today, and one hopefully that I hope it's a first of many conversations whereby graduates from the Zion community were interviewed, they were asked questions, and they were given the platform to give their insights as to what do they think with the new cohort of graduates that are coming in, the high influx of graduates within Uzion that are coming into the space. How are they trying and foster change and be part and parcel of the change? And it was a great opportunity for me to come and interact with you guys.
So what were some of the subtopics that you guys spoke about, and how do you think it would benefit someone who will be watching from the videos that you're taking?
I think a take home for me in one of those subtopics was should the next coming generation suffer the very same way that we suffered? The adversities that we face, the challenges that we face, should they face them? And in my response, it was more or less of they shouldn't be suffering the way we suffered. We should create a platform, a paved way that will make them not to suffer the very same way that we suffer. Because yes, it's not everyone that can face challenges and come out tops, you see. So if we face them and we came out tops, they shouldn't face the very same thing.
As I let you go, I just want to know how, in your own opinion, how do you think we can bridge the gap between the graduates and non-graduates?
I think we need to be able to take this in mind, that wherever there are human beings involved, there are bound to be differences. And we need to be able to accommodate those differences. So us bridging the gap, we need to know that as a graduate, you should know your place. And as a non-graduate or somebody who's not educated, you should also know your place. And we should create Uzion that is inclusive. Bridging the gap means creating Uzion that is inclusive, that is able to accommodate the one who's educated and the one that is not educated. That's basically how we can try and bridge the gap.
Your concluding message to Amazon, to Karen, what can you say to them? Especially the youth.
I would say that, yes, to the youth, let's make education fashionable, you see, one conversation at a time, and let's make graduating as Amazon fashionable, you see, because we say that education is the passport to the future, for it belongs to those who work on it today. So therefore, in order for us to buy that ticket to the future, let's work on it today through education. And as Amazon, we can actually do that and do away, try to speak ill about that negative misinterpretation of that negative connotation. Try and do away with that.
Thank you very much. This was Bongani, also known as Vusi Timber.
Thank you.
All right next to me, I've got one of our very own founder Mbuto Zayoni, caption. Mr. Bombastic. My brother, how are you?
I'm good, I'm fantastic.
Good. A very productive event it was. What's your take regarding everything that has happened today?
I feel it was a very fruitful session and one that was long overdue, in the sense that we needed to create a space whereby whereby graduates and the broader community are able to come together. Because I feel that it is important that we learn from each other. Like when you study history, you find that we live in an age known as the Zeitgeist period, whereby it's Zeitgeist, whereby a huge change is taking place. You know, like for example, for us to get our liberation from a political perspective, we find that it was the graduates, you know, that went to university, came back from university and implemented the things that they learned in university to liberate their people. I'm saying this is the very same cultural phenomenon that is taking place much as we've got a plethora and a large number of young people that are going to varsity that need to come back and say, I'm sure the first wave, Yama graduates was SAZA moved out of SAZA and say ukuthi baphethe into engibizayo usemuva. So now from a digital platform, we created a situation whereby we take pride in who we are. Now it's a matter of not leaving things to chance, but making it a concerted effort. We put the skills as singers and the resources in as singers to empower our people and to take Zion to the next level.
And all the subtopics that you guys spoke about, what's the one that you love?
I think I'll take it off from where Ubani Bongane took it off. You go to the last part. You go to should our last generation suffer, like how we suffer. I believe we should not suffer. Rather they should not suffer. And we need to create a non-dominational institutions. They become incubator hubs, think tanks that are able to remedy some of the cultural vices, and cultural issues that are still prevalent within ourselves. As Amazon, like for example, we need institutions that are not dominational, that will play a role of a mentorship for Wonkamazao. We need institution that will play the role of entrepreneurship. We need institution that will play the role of mental health. We need institutions that will pioneer change within Uzayoni.
The floor has spoken about Uzayoni being rich, but in a barrier caused by pride.
Yeah.
In your own opinion, how can you prevent us from having pride towards each other, and how can we start from today with the support and everything that we do?
Number one, Jesus says we with a house that's divided cannot stand. We are divided because we do not see the bigger picture. People without vision tend to perish. Number one, we need to create a situation whereby we understand that Uzayoni has to come first before Ibanzana. So we need to get to a situation whereby on the way to Ufana no Paul Magati Sumzimbamu. More muntu I need to love you as much as I love myself, no matter what. So once there's an element of love, it becomes easy for us to create a situation whereby we are able to talk, facilitate, and share our resources, because we cannot share our resources if we do not have a relationship. And the relationship unless we genuinely care.
As I let you go, when you look at the statistics in South Africa of summer graduates unemployed, is greater than the statistics of abangafundanga but abasebenzayo. So how then do you encourage someone to go study while smoking statistics is against graduates?
Okay, it's important for us to understand the demands with economy. Joma besakuluma, remember, we spoke about besakuluma what you call it, Indian community. Bastadisha what you call critical subjects within the economy. Why? Because the demand yala subjects now it's higher in comparison to in amanyama field. Lamanyama field, the majority of our people to go to are already overpopulated. Normally they're oversaturated, and therefore it means that demand yala skill sets mangai. Number one, we need to study the what you call the demands of the economy, position ourselves within the particular economy, and ensure which within our graduate community we create our businesses from the skill sets as in us.
Okay, now I'm talking about you encouraging someone who's not willing to go further their studies. No, education is the key to success.
Yeah.
But now no muntu wemazi ukuphila ukuthi the statistics South Africa esiphila kuyo sabantu abakufundile kodwa abangasebenzi is greater than those abangafundanga but abasebenzayo. Then how do you encourage them?
Okay, if that's the case, I'll just say if, let's say for example, you've got, because of school in Anishu, whatever skill set that you have, learn how to monetize on it. Let's say once you learn how to monetize on it, you are in a position to employ certain people that have got certain skills, that have certain skills, that have the ability to take your business forward, which are unemployed. Like for example, someone who studies marketing, you start a business, you need a person who's in marketing. Umuntu studies admin, you start a business with umuntu in admin, umuntu in IT and stuff like that.
What can you expect going forward from the panel? I heard that now it's going to be implementation. So what can you expect as abantu abebabube?
I think some of the things that we spoke about will see the fruition and will see the light of day, in the sense that it won't only be a dialogue, but we get it into a position whereby we are able to create a platform whereby we are able to implement Lentole. Because one thing I loved about Lentole, it's non-dominational. Anyone who's serious about life has the ability to benefit from what we have started.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah,
So we meet again.
Yeah,
But it's debatable. And but it's fine.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, sir.
Ciao.
All right. Omega.
Yep.
All right. Right next to me, I've got one of the organizers, Ubonele. My brother, how are you? And why are we here today?
Lokhuluma ngokwanele wakhiba one of the coordinators SAZA aba-organizer soccer tournaments, not soccer tournaments only, but izinto eziningi esithilayo amongst uZion, isidinga uZion nje SAZA is part of zona, and sibonga ithuba lelo ukuthi wonke umuntu uthathile azoba nathi namhlanje.
Because ngiyabona kakhulu ngathi you are more interested kule soccer, sports. What can you expect the following week as you guys are also hosting? We have seen a draw, so what can you expect as a Zion, and how is that helping Zion weight as a whole?
Ngiqale ngalokhu ukuthi angigxilanga kakhulu ngezisoka kuphela, sijazi ukuthi angisho yazi nepiece inomsebenzi wayo. So njengoba nami bangiphile umsebenzi ukuthi organize soccer tournament. Okokuqala nje ngale tournament esifuna ukubona uZayo nohlangene ukuthi kuba inkinga ukuthi ezayo kunalento leyo ukuthi makenzeka into kunalamasonto but angcono kunamanye amasonto, but we try ukuthi sibabeke in one place kube into eyi-one njengoba ku-June 16 ukuthi wonke amaZayo abe endaweni eyi-one, sokwazi ukuthi le concept izoba into ephumelelayo. Enye into mangathatha ukubheka i-youth eZion manje ayisekho kuningi njengakuqala. Maybe amanye amasonto indlela angathola abafana or amantombazane kubaza esontweni through esports, because kunabanye abathi angeke ngisonte ngokuthi angeke ngisakwazi ukudlala ibhola and stuff. So mabazibona lezo zinto zenzakala emasontweni, nabo baba nale ntshisakalo ukuthi akhe noma ngisonto ngisazokwazi ukudlala ibhola. Because like mina one ngi-example ukuthi ngachanye ibhola ngithi ufuna ukusonta kuphela, kanti bengazenza zoyithu lezo zinto ukuthi ngidlale ibhola ngidlale ngesontweni. So sifukisa lento leyo ukuthi noma ungaphandle uthi udlala ibhola nasesontweni yenzakala lento leyo. Singagcina ukuthi sigcina sazongeza kuphela sahlabana, asiphinde sibuye egroundini so refresha imiqondo yethu, because
No, it's fine.
because angeke sibe sihlala kuzungeza kuphela ngoba amongst esontweni khona umuntu uthanda isports, if lezi zinto naye uba accommodated.
So ngiyakuza ukhuluma ngokuhlabana. Now you guys are hosting a top 16. As I only we've got amasonto more than 50 plus the 10 ekutubula this year, so which makes maybe 60. So now if someone comes and says why only top 16, you know, we don't know anything about that, and then it creates a conflict, it creates people in family, you've got your favorites. How did you guys come to a conclusion here, top 16? Yeah.
Like ngiyabonga ukuthi ngibuza lo mbuzo. Xa besenza i-topic sabona ukuthi abamaningi amasonto sewasondezayo. Inkinga yokuqala ukuthi ukwalela uyenza le-tournament nonathi sekayenze yakhe, then uyabo ukuthi sekunamanye amasonto ayi-8 maybe asespread ayi-8 ala eSoweto, so gcina phasi abe nalento leyo. So but siyabona ukuthi manje wonke amasonto ayafuna ukuthi senze into eyi-one, that gcina sekuba ne-top 16, which iyaqala this year ukuthi ube top 16. Vele ngoba thina imithu ukuthi kube maybe top 32 or top 64.
Yeah, but the question is, if someone comes and says kula masonto ayi-50 waseZion plus the 10 evuliwe my 2023, which makes 60.
Yeah.
So 60 minus 16, and then nina nifike kanjani kule 16? What if mina isonto lami ngifuna libe khona?
Thumela ama-invites to amasonto athanda ukuba part.
When you say athanda ukuba part, how do you know ukuthi isonto athanda ukuba part?
Like njengoba ngisho ukuthi sasenzela ama-invites ngoba lawo aresponda quick ngokuthi besine time frame ukuthi ngesikhathi so if i-16 is achievable, sizoqhula nge-16. If is more than 16, if iya ku-32 singayenza i-32 whereby khona bewadlala last year na this year angekho because i-late respond azange sayithola.
So they were rejected?
Yes, because angeke simele umuntu singazi ukuthi uyeza or awuzi. So savumela, it was a first come first ufike kuqala uyesimupha indawo because at the end sicontrola nala asinama-ground enye into futhi sicontrola ukuthi okay lawo esinawo i2 if besinesikhathi futhi namalanga abe maningi i-64 singayiyenza but into ezishaya isikhathi namaground.
Alright, thank you very much. I hope ukuthi ingasilwisi ukuthi thina sibandla lesi-17 lesithanda ukuba khona, but now you know ukuthi there are always those people abafuna that mistake one because nami it concerns me ukuthi kanjani 16 kuphela ekubeni mhlambe kuna 16 evulwe manje 2023 uyazi siyavula ngedlala. So I wanted to know ukuthi indlela zokureacha to abantu enizisebenzisile ukuthi yeziphi. Not satisfied with your answer though, but thank you and all the best for next year. For sure. Bambathi. Yeah, siwa wena into yakho kini kucela amakhamera. Right next to me I've got Bambathi awuzozichaza my brother kunjani? Thank you. Kama nkosinathi wabamlangeni wena. And then what are you in all this?
Oh mina kule nhlangano le ngichairperson yakhona imidlalo emuva bakhona abadlala phambili.
Sure.
Mina nje ngithi ngibeke lokho engikufunayo bese baya.
What's the objective of all this event?
Kahle kakhulukazi ukuhlanganisa i-youth kakhulukazi namasonto ukuthi singaxhasani kakhulu, singazi khona lento yokuthi khona isigeke khona ama-chorus yabona, so sizama ukuhlanganisa leyo gap ukuthi siyinto eyi-one sikwazi uNkulunkulu eyi-one. That's the main objective ukuthi sifuna ukuhlanganisa i-youth yethu ukuthi yazane i-socialize futhi ifunane nemisebenzi.
Okay, we've already spoken about sports with Ugonele, so now we're going to go back to the talk show that we had today. Okay. What was the main objective of the talk show?
Wow. The main objective is ngicela ukusho namanje ukuthi kakhulukazi ukusiza i-youth. As kune-bridge ekhona manje istigma sokuthi abafundile bahamba bodwa, abangafundanga bahamba bodwa, laba bahlaba laba bahlaba laba, but at the end of the day boyithu laba bayafunana, bayadingana ukusizana at the end of the day. So kakhulukazi ukusiza ukuthi i-youth ethu iphumelele phambili yasezalo kakhulukazi.
As the chairperson inhlangano le ehostayo ngiyakuzwa ukhuluma ukuthi the graduates and non-graduates bayadingana. But now how can we bridge that gap? How can we separate the two? Ukuthi manje these are no longer inseparable ukuthi into one whether ufundile or awufundanga. How can we do that?
Angeke kube lula, to be quite honest. Angeke kube lula. Siqala manje le talk show esiqalayo. Sizama ukubreaka lokho ukuthi sifake kancane kancane ukuthi kahle kahle mina ngifundile ngiyamdinga lo ngafundanga. So sibreaka lokho manje and then another step futhi ukuthi kuhlangane kuqhutsheke kuye phambili. Angazi
Absolutely, but we'll move forward. The organization is South African Zion Youth Movement. Yeah. Okay, so kusho ukuthi inhlangano basic kakhulu ku-youth yaseZion.
Kahle brought SAZA nabaholi bakhona.
Oh, okay. It's just that
just today is just the youth.
Okay. We've had I think 4 or 5 subtopics ebekukhulunywa ngawo namhlanje. You were there, you were listening. Iyiphi oyithandile and how do you think izosiza omunye umuntu obekavukele on the live video?
Okay. Engiyithandile ukuthi ama-graduates asiza ngani emabandleni ethu. Yeah, so ngithanda kakhulu ukuthi lo ofundile angafaka impact ebandleni lakhe la kuyo. Doesn't need ukuthi ahambe ngo-education yakhe yenze somewhere, but la eZion we need labo bantu labo abazospecialize ngale nto ayifunde eZion ukuze kuzokwazi ukuqhuqhuza iZion lethu.
So are you saying ukuthi nguza uthi ebandleni lakhe, so now it's no longer Zion, but mangifundile I'm only expected to impact ibandla lami kuphela, not to Zion?
Cha.
You're separating the two?
Cha, angithi uqala fanele uqale somewhere before uphuma. Charity begins home.
Yeah, no, based on your answer ukuthi
ebandleni and general as a whole.
So can't you say ezayo?
Ezayo.
Okay, so we're gonna say ezayo.
Thank you very much.
Go.
Alright, right next to me, the beautiful host yanamhlanje, uzinhle wakathenjwe kwayo, my sister kunjani?
Ngiyaphila njani bhuti wami?
Ngiyaphila. Thank you very much for ukulethela ishow mnandi kangaka. As a host, you did very well. I was a spectator ngibukele. In your own opinion, did it meet my expectations?
Honestly, no. The audience. To be honest with you, I'm being honest. You know, the way people responded to the event, I'm not happy. More specifically, our youth members. Because I was expecting a lot of youth members for them to engage with us. Because I cannot expect umama wa manje engage nami. They're not moving with times. We know abazali bethu ukuthi it takes them time to understand the generation that we are and the time that we're living in. So somehow my expectations were not met, to be honest with you. But with the show, I'm happy. The way the show being a corner, I'm really happy, to be honest with you. But the way people responded to the invites,
how do you think we can fix that maybe for future? Because I've heard that we're going to be having a second one whereby it will be implementation. So how can we rectify the wrong one?
Firstly, me and host, so I need to go back to my church members because I was expecting them.
Charity begins at home.
Yeah.
I mean, you were there on the poster.
Yeah.
And they were not here.
Exactly.
I was going there.
Okay, yeah. So firstly, I think we need to market anything that we do. So maybe mistake was not to talk to my church members. By Boni post, but were they fully informed about your uncle and post?
Now let's talk about them. Besides them being fully informed, if you see such poster, already automatically we as far you don't need a special invitation. So I think we've got that problem. You need that special attention. If you see, like there's a lot of events that we see, but we see a poster, then we find ourselves there because of we're gonna benefit from that.
Maybe he'll understand poster you know, it goes back to all those things. So maybe let's not undermine any organization. As soon as we receive a poster, let's all respond to it in a positive way.
You were the one rolling out questions. You had, I think, 5 subtopics. Which one was your favorite and why?
Stigma. Stigma, the certain duties that it can be performed graduates. They say, they were perform as an undergraduate, but now so perform as graduates because they have the qualification. Because I am pulu zayon and I pulu bubanda bet. You untolela Nastro. And the man untolela ngangenza so. And but now because you have your qualification, segmele minang sideline. They get the first preference. So that's my problem. And that's the only topic I feel they shy concourse.
How can you tell our viewers at home that how do we bridge that gap?
Okay, solutions it's only foot.
What was it in a summary form?
All minds needs to meet. And if all minds meet, we need to learn Toba. As soon as it's Toba, siyakwazi ukufundiseka. So it's very important, guys. It's very important from learning from Nastro as Nastro is, but and grab something else. So another thing is we don't uplift each other. So it goes back to that. Just because of Nastro Uncut, I'm saying they sing this Uncut again. So so yeah.
But other than that, I've got my last question, which is the question I think it was I'm this 17-year-old boy that I'm looking at the statistics of South Africa, whereby the statistics of unemployment is much greater than the statistics of abangafundanga or abasebenzayo. So now how, when as a graduate, encourages me to go to school while abantu abanama-masters bahleli ekhaya or basebenza in retail, whereby they're getting less than 5,000.
Also, le nto ekubuzayo into ekumele ngifuna ukukhuluma ngayo futhi. Number one, umuntu ofuna ukuyenza into ulula uku-encourage mawufuna regardless ukuthi ubani wayenza zange ngisebenzele, but if you believe in yourself and you believe in what you want to do, izoyenzeka. Also, another thing, I'm gonna just share my mini story if you allow me. Currently, I'm studying in finance, which is accounting, ne? And I'm also doing it in seven, but I feel like I'm not exercising cool. Now I'm doing it in OJL fully. You get what I'm saying? So people need to get an exposure of by practice, because in most cases we are funded but by practice.
But now let us be fair and honest. In South Africa, the way it doesn't happen. I did my degree, I did my masters, I did my honors. What do I do? Where do I go? Who do I reach out to? Because man, you ask what it's all about. Most was bad.
True.
But now, how do we? Hence, I'm saying, how do we encourage umuntu ofuna ukufunda? What am I saying? I'm CV.
I need to imagine it goes back to the plug. I need to now be advertising the businesses that you have. Remember, I said lapaya. Uma ngabe ngazi ukuthi wenza marketing, I won't come to you, and you won't know what I'm doing accounting. And if you tell ukuthi business in you need my skills with accounting. So as soon as we know each other, ukuthi uNastro ubhizi ngalento esona, so it's easy for me to plug uNastro kuleyo nto leyo. So I believe in plugging people. So for us to break this whole thing, or for us to help this 17-year-old boy, is to plug the boy. Ukuthi yazini sharp uzosimoqeda ukufundela ilo yakho uzokusa kusisi sibanibani usisi sibanibani uzokusiza. Yabona? By now, I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah, no, you did, because I get to see muscles are only, we are more for family, so,
Yes.
so which means you're saying referral.
Referral.
Talk to them, lababangezanga bayibone the post.
Guys, I'm telling them. Joking, guys, but in a nutshell, if you have certain skills that you do, or you, what's the right word? You specialize a whole. Please plug our people. Maybe nothing, we're going to try to reach out to the generations, what do you need, or in maybe starting at my church, and it didn't work for them, but saying then I plug you with my church members. So yeah.
On behalf of SAZA, now I'm letting you go. Can you shepherd them with a pre-invitation before the actual invitation? I'm going to say to the audience, I bang great up as expected because of Mhlambe indlela abayikhipe ngayo.
Yes.
Now let us invite them for the second one. Tell them how they missed out today.
Guys, niluzile. I'm not gonna lie to you. Niluzile, we needed your input, and your input is valid. Never take yourself for granted. So make sure when we're having the second event, you attend, you engage with us. We know better, we know more. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from the horse's mouth. The host is doing the best to be better than the best. Thank you very much. Sister,
Thank you.
what?
We good?
Yeah. I said so good.
Okay, let's go. We good?
Sharp.
Yeah.
Right next to me, the beautiful sister, we like Panelist, unelisi uzichaze wayibeka phezulu wathena usonto generally ngabantu bakuntanda uyewanike wenza introduction enjalo sisiwami kunjani ngiyaphila awungitshele la uhamba khona bathe vele uzisho ukuthi sonto
No, but like Uzayona, I just needed to know to introduce myself. Nazi ukuthi ngibuya komuphi.
yeah
Mukumuzi.
ukhuluma sokumuntu ongakagada ukuphuma
No, angindawo. Angindawo.
Thank you for joining us, Lana. Productive day it was. How do you feel after everything?
It feels good. I feel very good. I learned a lot. Didn't expect to get so much than what I brought to the table. So that is what I take out from today.
What is
I feel
it that you
good.
brought?
Like my knowledge and sharing my story, I think that was my highlight, to motivate whoever that feels like failure is the end of the world. So for me, that was my highlight, was to be able to share my story, because sometimes I felt embarrassed about it, but it's good to talk about it, to motivate and encourage the next person. So yeah.
But there was nothing embarrassing, because in a nutshell, your story was you encountered problems during Skatsako Sokufunda, understanding which involves your parents. Not sure about the F7 one, yeah, I say UG, ngenhlanhla bakwenzela isiguqo wabuya bakunika nini ithuba-ke. We are grateful for that. Ukusho ukuthi uNkulunkulu wethu ithuba lesibili, right?
Amen.
So tell me now, angithi, one of the subtopics that you guys were talking about is that how you as a graduate impact uZayon wethu. So now, when as a graduate, what positiveness are you bringing or have you brought so far?
I don't like coming to Zion at church as a graduate. Ne? I like coming to church as Mundo Konzayo that has knowledge that I can impart.
I'll rephrase my question because you're running away from it. As a graduate, what's that one positive thing have you done?
To mentor, if we can say that, to mentor other young people to help guide them and help them make better career choices and mentor them along the way. You know, it's got challenges.
I think one of
stuff
the
like
things
that.
that we're supposed to dwell on here was the career choice one.
Yeah.
Because I think we get Tia spoke about abantu abavele bakhethe because of abangani. But mina I'm gonna choose physical science. Not knowing ukuthi ziyabuya physical science kanti nesiphiwo se arts and culture because you are a singer. So la eZayon we've got a lot of that. But now when you look emuva vele la isikolo bebangasithandi abantu bethu bafuthi angeke bangishaye bayazi isikolo bebangasithandi but uthola ukuthi umuntu ucula kamnandi siyamupraise but is not doing about anything about leso siphiwo sakhe. So wena as a graduate namhlanje, what can you say to umntwana ka grade 9 ozokhetha ama subjects manje? What can you say to umuntu onometric ohleli? What can you say also to umuntu ongana metric ohleli nje futhi?
Firstly, umuntu ka grade 9, it's important to, you know, Monday, it's easy for youth yet. There's Google, there's YouTube videos, you know. It's important to know what you like and to Google research and see what kind of, because in grade 9, you change your mind a lot. I mean, grade 9, before we lawyer, before we this, you change your mind a lot, but what can I do with grade 10 when I'm choosing subjects? Like, what can I choose at a broader space as on Caesar to achieve in my career, if I can put it that way. Umuntu matric, it's different because now matric, it's crunch time. People that apply university, you're finishing school and all of those things. So now umuntu matric is go back to the drawing board, fine, isikhathi sihambile, intanga zakho ziaplayile, abantu bayenza so na so. But it's not too late to start as well. There's things that are called gap years, and people take for granted the impact of a year. Even though as gap years, you think you sit and you not do anything in uni. You just sit and wait for the next opportunity in university next year. But you educate yourself, you read books, you attend such seminars to broaden your mindset, and you just go out and get the knowledge. What is your next game plan? So a matriculant someone that is unemployed, I feel like life, you know, life has challenges. And unfortunately, we live in a society where we want izinto that look nice emehlweni abantu. You know, if I'm good at cutting people's hair and I'm a barber, like it's not a chain smash to start by cutting people's hair. Exactly. And now it's something about legends, barber shop, because you learn gangago, you upskill yourself. Like there's YouTube tutorials, weaves. You know, it's a lot of money.
Everyone who came here, ngimtshela ukuthi statistics in South Africa, sabantu abafundile, abasebenzi.
True.
You guys only get that 1,000 likes on your graduation day, then that's it. The following day, if you were to relive your life, having to choose going to university or going to a college where you get skills development, which one would you go to?
I don't regret choosing university because the skill that I wanted.
If you were to relive your life, which one would you go? Would you still go there?
I would still do that, yeah.
Is it because you're working?
No, not because I'm working, but because I loved what I was doing.
Are you working?
I am working.
What about those that have got masters and honors but are unemployed?
That's the thing. In the workplace, you do work with people that don't have the qualification, and you're in the same. Yes, it's reality.
So
it's
can you agree that the system here to South Africa somehow it's malfunctioning?
Yeah, we can blame the system. I'm statistics are lying and whatnot, but also. Be discouraged by such things. You know, we keep on knocking on doors.
It's discouraging to go study for 6 years, then go being a teller. I'm not saying being a teller is wrong, but I cannot go to university for 6 years or even 3 years, 4 years, and then ukuthi ngibuye ngizohola 4,000. It's discouraging. I won't lie to you.
It is
We cannot be
discouraging,
here and
100%. It is discouraging.
While someone on a license kuphela uhola 10,000.
Maro compare ijeni yakho to another person.
Not comparing a journey.
Ma
At the end of the day, we are working ukuthi sikhole
Yes.
siphile.
But when uthi ngi-graduate and ngihola 4,000, comparing myself to someone else.
So
This is
you
what
want to
you're
be that
saying.
proud graduate and hola 4,000.
No, not like that. I'm not saying that. You
What are you
see,
saying?
you're putting words in my mouth.
I'm
I'm
not.
saying it's sad. It's sad, yes. But it doesn't mean to call in 4,000 and you will figure that. My sister is an example. Ne? My sister graduated. Then 4,000 for 3 years. For 3 years, I 4,000. She resigned, left her job. I think it took a couple of months. You've got a qualification, you've got experience. It took a month to get a job. You go on interviews, you get rejected. This is life, guys. Unfortunately, kubuhlungu lapho. Into ebuhlungu ileyo ukuthi impilo i-rough
Now you're
kangaka.
coming to my part. You agree with me?
Yes,
Ukuthi life in South Africa is fair.
You're right, yeah.
So hence I was asking, what if you were to relive your life, ukhethe between skills or uhambe le ndlela le 4 years of university, ukuthi which one would you take? Because eqinisweni eSouth Africa, the qualification you're only right, but ukuthi umuntu yamsebenzela two chance.
Yeah.
It's a topic, or rather something that we can
And so
talk
it's a
about the
topic,
next time.
sorry, ne? But also we just need to keep up with the times as well. As much as smanding fundele ukuba account, like 4IR people mentioned something like that about fourth industrial revolution. Within the qualification that you have, what do you have to bring that is different? Because that's what they want in companies. What are you going to do that's different to another
As
candidate?
a graduate, what is it that you have done different to Zion? Sengiyekele uhamba.
uZion wadwa. Umushe Zion guys, ngithethe ubuye Zion.
Yabaleka.
But
Thank you
no,
very
no,
much.
I'm not
Mrs.
running
Nelly
away
for
from
contradicting
this.
herself. I know you just said now that
No, but with
you
my
bring something
qualification,
different. So with your qualification
I
as
haven't been in
Zion,
finance with Zion. I haven't been in finance with
Besides you
Zion.
being in
But
finance,
I've
what
motivated
have you-
and mentored
Oh,
younger children.
that's not different. Everyone does that. Hence, I'm asking, what is it different?
I don't
for you
know,
to-
okay, maybe I
So
can't
you've
think
done
on the
nothing.
spot. Yeah, I can't think on the
Thank
spot.
you very much.
But yeah.
That was Mrs. Nelly from the General Church of Christ. Ningamangali, I'm a debater, so ayafuneka because we bring different opinions ezosiza umphakathi ngakusasa. I still standing as umuntu othi umthetho South Africa awukho fair. So I'm not saying ukufunda ku right, I'm not saying ukufunda akukho right. Ngimile la emaphakathini. I'm all about getting money at the end of the month. So ukuthi mina ngizokhalela ukuthi ngigcoka amabhanda ayi4, ngithole 2,000 likes on Facebook, but ngicela imali yokudla next door, and that's not it. Thank you very much, my sister.
Ubani ufaka kanjani?
Right next to me, I've got the founder, Kelly Community Development Foundation. Mfowethu, my co-host, Mfokamfeka, my brother, kunjani?
Sharp, ginger.
Siyaphila mfowethu.
That's
You have innovated NPO.
Yeah, for sure.
Ehlangana nento yenzakale la namhlanje, whereby they're trying to divide graduates and non-graduates.
Yeah, for sure.
Wena as Umfeka, are you a graduate or a non-graduate, and how is that helping you?
Yeah, I'm non-graduate.
A non-graduate. And then, how has that impacted your life being a non-graduate?
Yeah. Grand, sharp. Like, yeah.
For someone oyile esikolweni, sinabantu ababhaya abaya esikolweni.
Yeah.
Mara mawuthi ababheka impilo yabo imini.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've got abantu esigcine sibahalela abanganesikela, mara mawuthi abheka impilo yabo iyamove.
No, but like being according to my understanding, this kid has issue with over successful.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. This kid just sinikeza ama basics wempilo because ekugcineni noma ungayanga esikela kunezinye izinto uzozidinga from esikela like ucommunicate for making business, kumele ukhulume isigaba, ama-form kumele ugcwalise ngesigaba. So isikela nje ama basics, but isikela sisho ukuthi uzoba create life.
So now we get abantu on social media basixhomele ukuthi bona bafundile. What's your message to them?
Man, isikela sisho nix nathi. Akusho ukuthi usekelezile, usho khona abantu abagelezile abahuzukayo. Yes, khona abantu abagrand abaphila sharp, abaphila lifestyle.
So yini le umuntu emela yenze kahle.
Angithi into yokuqala mina engingayisho ukuthi umuntu kumele azazi ukuthi yini into yaguduka. Kumele uzazi uqala wena ukuthi uguduka because of ungaya esikela uthola ukuthi isikela kahle akusijeni yakho, akusi-assignment yakho, akusinto uNkulunkulu akubekele yona ukuthi uzophila ngayo. You understand? There's a lot of people engibaziyo engiclose nabo omunye ugelezele something mara uthola ukuthi after that lento leyo yasamsebenzile.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. So isikela is not mara isikela sisharp. because siyakunceda in terms of making decisions kwezinye izinto.
So what's your advice in terms of yona lento namhlanje ama-graduates and non-graduates? What's your advice to umphakathi wethu i-youth yethu?
Mina what I can say ukuthi lesizama ukuthi sihlangane sibe yinto eyi-one because ekugcineni siyadingana yabona. As much as wena ugelezile mina ngagelezanga but uyangidinga because mina i-experience yami iphethe yonke into. Uyangi-understand? Yet nawe esigela sakho sizokunceda ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi singaphusha into strong empire, build empire.
You are known as someone abamlabela as street smart. Yeah, you are known as someone you are known as someone abamlabela as street smart. Ngisho kahle ne street smart ne? Yeah, streetwise. Streetwise, yeah, that's the kama bengifuna. You are streetwise. So if someone mele kuze kuthiwe u-streetwise, yini mina yazi, yini mina yenze lo muntu?
I think ezinye izinto wena nathi, I think it's wisdom from God asiphayiwona. Yabona ukuba street smart, it's a gift from God on its own because I was choosing ukuba street smart but kuba yinto nje uNkulunkulu okupha yona ukuthi ukwazi ukuhlanganisa izinto, ukwazi ukwenza plan out of ama-situation, ukwazi ukusurvive yabona. Because emhlabeni it's a survival of the fittest.
Sure.
It's a dog situation. Njalo.
Yeah. Sengukudedela mfethu. Kulaba mfethu laba abasezayoni abangafuni ukwenza next, abangafuni ukuspana, abangafuni ukushaya ingadi, abangafuni ukuba ama-cleaner. What's your message to them?
Mfana ngiyabakhalela because unfortunately empilweni kumele wenze something. And izinto eziso ziyancedana because uyakwazi ukufunda kuzo ukuthi okay life is so uyakwazi ungathola ungafunda izinto eziningi so kunabafethu aba-negative umuntu akagelezanga akana strat but uhlala negative uhlala nje ahlaba yonke into.
In your church sengukudedela what's that positive thing oyenzayo esontweni esizayo as a non-graduate?
Mina always ngihlale nginstola le value ukuthi uma umuntu must believe in yourself more than anything. Anything is possible in life. Yeah. Mara ezinye izinto akuthole ngendlela. Do something ezinye izinto zokuthola ngendlela. Ungahlali nje uthi hayi mina kumele opportunities zofika. Opportunity akuthola ngendlela. Do something.
Thank you very much from a streetwise man umfokamfeka sizwile ke bafethu. Thank you very much Sisipesi. We had a talk show yamazayoni whereby it was trying to social gap between graduate and non-graduate. Sikaqedi sazobangena sizwile ke angithi besasebhizi nama-graduate singenile ke yabo TikTok ke sikutshelayo ukuthi zi-right but not because of zile esikoleni but because of yaphileka futhi isikole because we've got a lot of people abafundile abangasipana.
Yeah, sure. Rough. Nanokuthi
especially with isikhathini sethu se-government yethu manje.
Yeah, mfethu uma isikela sila sisiprove khona ukuthi ungaba isikela ushaye uphethe i-qualification enkulu mara uthola ukuthi awusaqasheki or uyabhayiseka and those things zokulethela frustration on its own ukuthi manje sengiphethe i-masters but angitholi umsebenzi gcina suyakhawathela.
Thank you very much Mr. Pega. Self-esteem yiyo yenza umuntu ukuthi abe grand empilweni but now uma ufundile masichomele ngokufunda but at the end of the day awunamali futhi sichomela just because you're now graduate but ithemile sikuthwala ithemile sikondle futhi other than that it's a topic for another day. Siyabonga ukuthi nisijoyine and
ngoba two is better than one. Yebo
But to let them know that whether 72 or 88, 44 or 68, we will not let exam results decide our fate. Peace.